Heyo, it's Tuesday now. I was gonna post a video yesterday. Also, hello Internet Nation, Alex and Ashley here. I was gonna post a video yesterday, but I decided not to post it because it was really long and I said some things that I feel guilty about, which usually I wouldn't really care. But it feels weird to talk about there only being two genders in Pride Month. That seems like poking the bear. So anyway, let's continue this week's theme of segregation. Yeah. So I just read some comments on a YouTube video ironically titled "A Doberman Attacks Teacup Puppy. Gruesome." Obviously clickbait, which is why I clicked on it, because it was obviously clickbait. Like, dogs aren't as scary as humans say they are, but humans are also very stupid, which next time you hear something, keep in mind, is the person that's telling you an idiot, or are they a reliable source? Like, do they have evidence for why they're scared, or are they just a segregating motherfucker that wants to see everybody separated, you know? So today, I want to talk about something that hits really close to home, and I'm going to try and get my hands to work on this thing while I talk. Multitask. Editor, cut that out. But, none of my clay is over here. I'll be right back. Alright, I returned. So, don't remember what I was talking about, but let's just jump into it. So, there are humans out there that like to say that animals are lesser creatures because some white man said it. Like, you know that had to have come from some white man, because everything came from some white man. Like, ask yourself, how much of the shit you know was told to you by somebody that didn't have an agenda for mind controlling the entire populace? So, humans like to see animals as lesser creatures. Why? Because they don't speak English. That's about it. Because they don't speak our language. So because they can't tell us that humans are dumb pieces of shit, then we assume that they're not as smart as us, because that's about it. Like, animals obviously have emotions. They obviously express those emotions. Why does this look used? Like somebody was poking their fingers in it, as you saw. I literally just cut the plastic off of these. And there's already weed on here. Like, I just cut the plastic off. There shouldn't be weed on this thing. Anyway. So, and this one has a... Now I'm starting to think that this one actually was opened by somebody. Anyway. So, humans like to believe that animals aren't as smart because humans are stupid and like to downplay literally everything, which is why they call black people animals, savage animals, even though the Caucasians have been notoriously savage through the years. Like, we had to teach y'all how to shower, bro. How to shower. But anyway, because of that stupid reason, people like to say that animals aren't as smart for whatever reason. It's like they have their own little societies, their own little hierarchies. Humans like to take everything from everyone. Like, you know, they like to take fashion from colored people, indigenous people, people who actually have culture. I'm not quite sure what American, but Caucasian culture is in America. Really not sure. You got like that hick life, but is that it? Maybe that's it. You have the hick life, and wait, these are the same color. I got confused. I've been using the black version of this stuff for the longest time, so I'm just used to having a black ball and a gray ball, but these are both gray, so I'm gonna have to pay attention. I'm not gonna fully pay attention, but I just have to make sure not to mix these. But it's nice not having my hands turn black. But anyway, so like animals are perfectly capable, just like the rest of us. If anything, they're pure because they don't have the cognition to lie. That's not true. Cats totally have the cognition to lie. They just don't really have to because we're suckers for cats. But there are people that like to say that animals are lesser beings and treat them as such, and then they don't give a fuck when they abuse animals and all this stuff. And people like to have the argument that, like, oh, animals aren't as smart, they aren't as this, therefore they're lesser creatures and it's okay if we eat them and blah blah blah. Like, I personally feel like it's okay if you want to eat people, you know? Because, like, if we can eat animals, we can eat animals, you know? We are not above any other animal in the food chain. Just because we force ourselves to wear clothes does not make us better than anyone. Just because we are aware of the fact that we can communicate to each other. But you know, animals can communicate to other animals. We're the only animal that has a hard time communicating with animals. And that's because, did I even go over this? Yes or no? I didn't post the video about labels. I don't think I posted the video about labels. I think the first video was just about normality, and then I made a video about labels. Ah, yes, the one I didn't post is about labels. And how labels are ruining our lives. It was mostly a rant about chairs. And how deeming things such as a chair completely takes away from its potential to be anything else. You know? Like, this is a chair. I don't know if you heard that. This is a chair, but it's also like a tiny piece of art, you know? And can it even be argued that it's a chair if a chair has a function for people to sit on it? But, like, dolls can sit on it, but a doll isn't a person. So even if a doll is sitting on it, is it still functional, or is it just like a piece of art? I mean, it's a mini chair, but that's a whole other thing, I guess, because then that gets into, like, functionality, and if a thing has no function or no purpose, is it still viable? Is it still a thing? I don't know where I was going with that. But you know what I mean, right? And I personally think it's really fucked up that we segregate animals in such a manner. Like, you see, there's so many ways in which humans learn to segregate things, be it like the thought process of, like, chair, table. I almost grabbed the epoxy thing. But, you know, like, this is a container. But it's also a surface that you can put things on. You could use this as a table for your dolls. You can empty it out, and it's not a clay container anymore. It's just a container. It's a container for whatever you want it to be, you know? It also holds multiple possibilities because it's got clay in it. And you can do anything with that clay. Possibilities are endless, but when you stop and just see it as, like, a container full of clay, then that's all it is to you. A container full of clay. Not like a container full of Pokemon, a container full of endless possibility for all the things you can make. It's just clay. And if anything, it's clay that's useless without its other half. Hell. Then you could argue if an item has functionality. Because if you just have part A without part B, both parts are useless. And is it still clay if it doesn't harden, if it doesn't serve its functionality? No, and it's pretty useless, you know? I think I need a reference. I don't know where my other phone is. But I just want to talk about how, like, animals, they existed before us. I mean, we all kind of existed together. And I'm distracted by the Nendos on my screen. Gotta find pictures of I. That's the character's name I'm working on. Iota. But, you know, and then we start separating animals into, like, oh, these animals are food. Like a cow. Cow is food. But then there are cultures that, like, praise cows as gods and don't see them as food and don't treat them as food. you know, and it's kind of blasphemous if you go to their culture and you, like, try to eat the animal, like cows specifically. Here in America, we don't see dogs as food, whereas in, like, China, cats, dogs, what have you, it's all fair game, you know? And I mean, personally, that's how I feel, because I am a hunter at heart, and, you know, everything goes. I can say I would eat people. I might try it. I would feel weird about eating a person because of their level of consciousness that I understand a person to have. But I also feel weird about eating meat in general, so, you know, as long as I wasn't gonna get, like, brain worms. There's some disease that you can get from human flesh if you eat the wrong parts. Actually, I believe it happens if you eat the brain. You can get some type of disease. But, you know, I might try some human. I might be down for human before I'm down for animal. And I could definitely kill a human. Faster than I can kill an animal. Because, you know, animals are sweet and innocent. Humans lie for fun. But, like, we create this separation with them. It's like, some animals we can't eat. Some animals are just pets. Some animals are this. Some animals are dangerous. We have all these ideas that we pass on to each other. And, like, a lot of them are false, you know? Like, not every dog is dangerous. And I find it really stupid that we have people who are afraid of animals when nothing even happened to them, because they were just taught to be afraid of animals. Or even worse, like, you have people who have these retarded notions about animals, like anybody that's like, oh, you have a septum ring, you look like a bull. And then you just have to sit there and contemplate how stupid this individual is for saying something so stupid to you, when there's a missing cognition there, you know? Because when they're saying that, they're not sitting there and realizing bulls aren't born with septum rings. Metal and metal rings are not things that happen naturally in nature. The bull did not go, I'm going to evolve to have a circular bone coming out of my nose and then connecting with itself, which is not even bone, because that's going to aid my evolution. No. Humans said they were going to put septum rings on bulls. I believe it's so they can attach the ring to it and then guide the bull easier. I believe that's why they have it. Humans decided to do that, you know? Possibly because they were doing that to themselves and realized that, like, this is a good way of guiding somebody's head. I'm losing my head, not the septum ring, because my septum is a little sore right now, because the fucking gold bar I had in here just decided it didn't want to stay closed. It just decided one day, yeah, no, this is it. This is it for me. I don't want to be a septum ring anymore. I just want to be a gaping open ring that does nothing. So here we are with the black one, even though now both of them are black. But this isn't about me. This is about animals. You know, or how, like, people get afraid and are like, oh, bulldogs are scary. They're pit bulls and bulldogs. They fight and they're violent. And then, you know, people forget that bulldogs fight because they're so dedicated to their owners that they would give their own life for their owner's enjoyment, for their owner's happiness. So they fight in, you know, the fighting rings that their owners make them fight in. This is not a thing. Bulldogs and pit bulls did not get together one day and go, you know what I want to do? I want to fight to the death with another dog, while humans cheer us on. That's what I want to do. Cocks did not say, I want to get into a ring and fight another cock to death. They didn't say that. I'm trying really hard to not say the Caucasian man said they should, but they also do things like have the bull run every year, where they have bulls run through the city streets and run from the bulls. Like, being rear-ended from a bull isn't a life-threatening thing, but I digress. I digress. I'm just here for the logic. Clearly none of them are here for the logic. They're just here for the brainwashing and the cognitive dissonance of the whole situation. So, you know, I don't know if you realize this, but if you kick a dog, they're gonna feel pain. And just because an animal can't fucking speak to you does not mean that it's dumb, that it can't think right, that it's not as smart as you. All this shit. It's just like human conditioning, because like humans are conditioned to feel a lot of different ways, none of which makes sense. None of which makes sense. A lot of it contradicts itself. You know, have you ever like dived into Christianity and how it like contradicts itself? I was talking with my friends about this earlier, about how Christianity is just a trap. A trap. Where does it make sense to tell a female individual that because they are having period cramps, they are inflicted by the devil? I do not have to go to church to worship God. The only place where that is a thing is with your Christian God, where you need to go to the holy house and you need to stand and sit and stand and sit and stand and sit and stand and sit. God is not amused by my standing and sitting. Satan may be amused by my ritual, by my excessive need to put them, Satan, before my family, before my children, before logic, before my own safety as a individual. That is what Satan wants. Jesus was not murdered so I could stand and sit in the house of the Lord and be told that my period cramps are the devil. They are not. They aren't. You don't need to go to church 3 days a week. I don't know who needs to hear that. But God just wants you to exist. Nowhere in the book of homophobia is loving thy neighbor involved. Now, stop spreading that self-hate and that bigotry. Back to animals, because this one's about animals. So, what else is there to say? Like, are you currently aware of the fact that, like, the way we view animals is just another form of segregation, another way that we are keeping ourselves down because we choose to see other beings, other living, breathing beings as lesser than, all because they don't fit in the human circle of life? Society? Like, come on now. Just because animals can't get a fucking job don't mean shit. Like, humans are already pretty close to animals. And personally, like, I feel any animal, any person, any human animal that wants to see other animals as lesser than, those are just sheep. And if you want to be a sheep, that's fine. You can be an ancestor of an ape, or you can be a sheep. Whichever. You can be a lamb to the slaughter. Go and get your fur shaved. Scalp yourself every Tuesday like you want and live a life full of contradictions that make you feel lesser than. So then you have to take that feeling out on all the beings and creatures around you, like the animals that you choose to say are lesser than. And why is that? Is it so that you can eat them without feeling guilty? Without feeling like you're betraying your God? God that told us to tend to the animals and take care of them? Where in eating, slaughtering, torturing? Because we aren't just eating them. It's not like these animals are living happy lives and then just dying to be somebody's happy meal. No. They're being slaughtered. They're living torturous lives where they're stuck in cages for the entirety of their lives, and then people... It's ridiculous. Could you imagine how opposed to the system people would be if, like, human females were being mass-produced on a farm and then bred continuously just to have their babies taken away so the babies can enter the whole process of becoming food, or maybe not becoming food, but just like, you know, human females being bred on a farm, impregnated constantly, so they would constantly produce milk so that we could suck that milk out their titties and then drink it, because it's creepy that we're suckling the teats of other animals. Like, y'all out here acting like you ain't fucking these animals, acting like you ain't sucking these animals, acting like you ain't getting all fucking horny for some cow milk, which is weird and gross and doesn't even benefit us. Like, literally the whole milk fiasco was created by the breakfast industry to get people to start drinking more milk. Was it that? No, they were overproducing milk. And instead of just not overproducing milk, they started this whole fiasco to make more people buy milk. So then they convinced the American people that milk was part of a healthy diet, even though milk doesn't really, like, before it was introduced to the American people, it wasn't really part of the African Americans' diet, because milk is the devil. It's more normal to drink breast milk, which is funny because y'all motherfuckers out here don't even want to be giving your baby breast milk. Y'all sitting here giving them the cow milk the second they can suck. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all want to act all high and mighty, but then you want the cow to feed your babies and make your babies nice and strong when you got these right fucking here? What the fuck are y'all doing? Stop with this early bestiality, and then y'all can't stop putting meat in your goddamn mouths, you fucking homos. It don't make no goddamn sense. Stop being a fucking faggot and stop sticking all that meat in your mouth. You ain't even thinking about the energy associated with the meat. Oh, you're just thinking, oh, I got this nice meat. Not even thinking about the animal it came from, the torment that animal had to go through to get some meat in your goddamn homosexual faggot mouth. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'd be so wild for. I'm sorry. You're not a homosexual, and if you are, there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual. But you really gotta start thinking about where that meat came from. That nice, thick, juicy sausage. You gotta start thinking about that before you start gobbling it down, you know? I'm just saying. And yes, I do actively think about the meat I gobble down before I gobble it down. I gotta bless all my meat to let the animal it came from know I appreciate its sacrifice. And hopefully it's gonna be transmuted into energy so it can have a more useful, happy life as being a part of me. And, you know, so its journey is appreciated. If I manage to post a video every day this week, it's gonna be a mess. And I'm sorry for any of y'all poor suckers that watch this shit and you're just like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Weren't you trying to say something? If you saw something from at least a different point throughout all of these ramblings, if I made you think, hey, you know what, maybe we do kind of think down on animals for zero reason, let me know. So I know I'm not just fucking rambling like a maniac, even though I know that's what I'm doing and what I am. Anyway, I just think it's weird that people like to see animals as lesser beings, when, if anything, they're higher beings, because they're not fucking lying assholes that hide their feelings and lie to themselves and others. Like, if a dog doesn't like you, you know it doesn't like you. You probably know why it doesn't like you. It doesn't like you for no fucking reason. It's got a good reason for liking you. Either your energy is fucked, or you did some fuck shit. And if your energy is fucked, that's the same as doing some fuck shit, because it already knows you at risk for doing some fuck shit. And don't sit there and act like you gonna sit there with your wonky energy and just fucking behave. You don't want to sit there and hug that dog. You probably think it's a piece of shit. You probably think it's a waste of fucking space. And that's why I don't fucking like you. Because you just came out of nowhere and be like, oh, a dog. My mommy told me that I'm not supposed to like them shits because they dangerous and they got fucking teeth. Well, you know there's human males out here fucking raping everything. Everything. And y'all want to get mad at a dog for humping when humping is just a way of them to play. And then humans always want to over-sexualize a dog humping. You think a dog, I mean, sometimes the dog is thinking about fucking you when it's humping you, because then it starts getting that little boner, and if it finds a hole, it's going to go. but not all the time is it about humping. You know, every time a human male humps you, you know it's sexual. But if a canine male humps you, it's just excited and it just wants to play. Granted, it might accidentally fuck you. That's all on the owner, because some dogs just hump and it's like, haha, this is fun. And other dogs like, haha, this feels good. You know? You could also train them not to hump and let them know that humping is not an acceptable way of interacting with others, because even some dogs don't like being humped. But humans don't even do that. They're just like, you're disgusting, you're this, you're that. Everybody was getting mad at animals for being fucking animals. It's a fucking animal. The fuck is wrong with y'all? You can't be mad at an animal for doing animal shit. My old dealer, he was getting mad at his pit bull for doing dog shit. If you gonna be out in the courtyard with your dog off the leash, you can't be mad at your dog for walking up to a child and being like, hey, play with me. You stupid. You retarded. You shouldn't even be having a business. You shouldn't even have a dog. The fuck is this bullshit? The fuck you getting mad at the dog for doing dog shit? Nigga, put it on a leash. You don't want your dog to walk over to people, put it on a fucking leash. Humans always want to be fucking stupid, acting like it's the animal's problem. It's an animal, bro. You the one that went to school. You the one acting like you above everything. That's why all these birds flying over you shitting on your stupid self. That was hypothetical. There was no birds shitting on him. I wish. I don't know what a group of birds. I wish a murder would. I wish a murder would. Just a whole flock of crows. Crows. Ravens, or is a murder ravens? No, I think murder is crows. I was gonna look it up, but my phone is like, nah, fuck you. What is a group of pandas called? An unkindness. A group of ravens is called an unkindness. That's what we should call a group of humans. I like how there's many names. There's one name for a group of animals, but if you have a group of humans, it's a nation, corporation, family, club, mob, gang, etc. I feel like a lot of that stuff is situational. Like a group of kindergartners is definitely not a mob, or a family, or a club, or a gang, or a nation, or a corporation. It's just a group. You see how stupid that is? You see how labels are ruining fucking everything? Why is a group of people not just called a group? You see how situational and confusing it is to be like a group of people is called a mob? I mean, a mob is probably the only acceptable one. But like gang, that's so situational. A gang is a gang. Also, the fuck is up with the Bloods and the Crips? Y'all niggas started out as neighborhood watch. And here we are, killing each other. You see that Caucasian shit? Y'all supposed to be the smart ones. We came from a nation of together people that was ruined. Y'all just keep letting goddamn white people ruin everything. Anyway, I'm gonna fucking go because these goddamn Caucasians got me mad. I'm kidding. They ain't got me mad. This video is just long. But yeah, animals are our brethren, and we should respect them and love them and protect them, because the only monsters on this planet, wrong sign, the only monsters on this planet are fucking humans, and humans are disgusting. Like, I know some demons, and I mean, granted, there's this one demon, but he's kind of inhabiting a human, and I feel like that's where the real scary shit comes from. But I know some demons who are way less, actually, it should be up here. I know some demons that are way less scary and horrifying than humans, because at least demons aren't gonna, I mean, some demons aren't gonna lie to you, but like only an idiot could be fooled by demons. With demons, you just gotta be like, ha ha ha, you're funny. No, I'm not scared, okay? You're not gonna have my body. You can't have shit. I don't give a fuck. Kill who you want. I don't give a fuck, okay? This is one powerful ass vessel, and just because I don't know what to fucking do with it yet, doesn't mean you get to, okay? I fear the day where a demon's just gonna come possess my life, and I'm just gonna be like, I prepared for this my whole life. And yeah, okay, I'm scared, but you can't have my body, bro. Like, what you gonna do? Kill me? What kind of threat is this, nigga? Do it. I'm always like prepared for the day when somebody tries to like rob me. I'm like, what? You gonna rob me? What, are you gonna shoot me? You gonna kill me, bro? Fucking do it. You want my shit? Kill me. Kill me, nigga. I will fucking fight back. You ain't gonna. Oh, what? You gonna shoot me in the leg, nigga? You think I give a fuck about pain? I'm gonna put my thing down now before I get fucking shot for supporting the rebels. You think I give a fuck about pain? Nigga, I wish the pain would stop. You think I fucking... Nah, nigga. I'ma bite you on the fucking ankle. You better pop me in the head if you want my cheap-ass phone. The fuck you think this is? You thought this was a game, nigga? No, you don't fuck with crazy. You don't fuck crazy, and you don't fuck with crazy. Anyway, love the animals, protect them, because they too are a reflection of us. Labels are stupid, and everything is equally as deserving of love. And if you think otherwise, you should reevaluate your life because you are a dirty, dirty sinner. Bye. Know that you are loved by this goon, and maybe this goon. I mean, technically that's Giovanni, so he might not love you, he just wants your Pokemon. I don't always have the best examples of other people who also love you because I usually am surrounded by bad guys. But I love and appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.